Hey guys, so I am back with another topic. This time we are going to talk about slow living. So this is a little different from what I spoke about before. I touched on the 4B movement. I've touched on relationships, trad wives. But this time I noticed a trend going on and it touched my soul because I'm actually a New Yorker. So slow living is something that is foreign to any city person, anyone who was born and raised in the inner city. They will tell you growing up in the city is very fast paced. I mean, we are constantly on the go. Even when we're not moving, we are moving. Okay. So what happened to me, what transformed my life, was a move that we had because my husband is currently serving in the US Navy and we were given orders to move to Spain. And I'm telling you, it blessed my life, it blessed my family, and it forced us to slow down tremendously. It is literally ingrained in the culture. It's quite slow, much slower. So much slower that they even have siesta hours, which allows people to take naps. I mean, it can range anywhere from 2 to 3 hours, lunch breaks, where people are allowed to go out to the beach, to go to a restaurant and enjoy their time with their family, with their friends, with their loved ones. And it is amazing to see how much their lives are centered around what's most important, and that is people. So slow living seems to have made its way to the United States. And to be honest with you, I believe that it is our way to get back to our roots, back to the way we were supposed to be to begin with. We were never meant to live life as if we're on a rat race to chase a goal or reach this goal or reach the next milestone or opportunity that will give us this temporary dopamine high to feel good about ourselves. Social media, I always call it the thief of joy because we're constantly going on there to compare our lives to other people. And we feel like we're moving too slow or not fast enough because we're trying to keep up with the pace of others. Why is she able to live life this way and I'm not? Why is she here and I'm still here? So slow living allows you to cut out the noise, to jump off of the hamster wheel, to stop racing against time when you can allow time to serve you and you can use it to your advantage and to actually enjoy the people you love, the people who matter most, especially yourself, to reprogram yourself to no longer believe that life is all about the goals we accomplish or the things we achieve, and more about being centered, more about knowing who we are, whose we are, starting with our purpose. So my video is going to be very different. It's not going to be like the videos you've seen in the past, those aesthetically pleasing videos where they start off with pouring a glass of coffee or a glass of tea and they're standing outside and they're looking out in the open, looking at the mountains, and they're just like
sipping their tea and they're just enjoying their time. They're just
one of those. This is not going to be that. Because my definition of slow living and what slow living looks like for me is going to be different from how it looks to everyone else. Okay? So relieve the stress. Maybe you're looking up slow living because you want to be inspired. So I hope my video inspires you because you're on this new journey. You've noticed you need to slow down. You've noticed that you are on a rat race. You're on a hamster wheel with a carrot dangling in front of you and you're getting absolutely nowhere. Here's a fun fact. Would you believe me if I told you that you would reach your goals much faster by slowing down? I know I didn't believe it when I first heard it. You hear about the story with the turtle and the rabbit, and the one who was moving slow and steady won the race. That's not just a story. That's reality, guys. And I discovered that when we moved to Spain. Okay, when we moved to Spain, I actually accomplished a lot more by jumping off of the rat race, jumping out of it, saying, you know what, I am done. I am done with it. Went to Spain, got pregnant with baby number 4, got my degree with my husband, traveled the world, got to know each other, strengthened my marriage. Even my marriage was saved during the process of embarking on this journey of slow living. even my relationship with myself. Now, a lot of people don't talk about this. When they talk about slow living, they don't realize that it's more than just moving slow or moving 10 miles per hour. It's not that. It's about reconnecting with who you are and rebuilding the relationship starting with yourself. So first, it's all about knowing your purpose. Why am I here? Who am I and what was I put here to do? That is the first step to slow living, because it allows you to become more intentional with what you do and how you do it and how you spend your day. Here's an example. I am a mother of 5. I am a wife. I am always a student in this classroom called life. I'm always ready to learn. I'm a healer. I'm a life coach. I love to minister to the souls that are brought around me. I am also a journalist. I am also an advocate. So when I think about who I am and what my purpose is here on earth, what I was put here for, it allows me to not only live a more centered life, but to be more intentional with how I live my life. So instead of being all over the place, I'm scatterbrained, I'm all over the place, I wake up, I don't know what direction I'm going. Because I know who I am and I know my purpose, first being a mother and a wife, being a friend, being a healer, being a life coach, being a giver, right? Being an encourager. I understand that everything I do in my day must start with whatever it is to nurture my ability to carry forth my roles. So if I wake up first thing in the morning and I'm stressed, I'm frantic, I'm all over the place, it limits my ability to be a great mom, to be a great wife, to be an encourager, and to be a great healer, and to be a life coach, right? So once I know who I am and I know my purpose, life becomes easier because now I know how to move. And most importantly, I know how to write my vision. We must make a vision and make it plain. Those without vision will perish. And if you're not a believer, ask yourself this question. Who do you know? Name one successful person you know who has ever accomplished living the life designed for them without a vision? So if you are going to embark on this newfound journey of slow living, you must start with creating a vision. What does that look like for you? It is not going to look the same as it looks for everyone else. Like I said, I'm a mom of 5. A lot of the slow living videos I've watched are full of single people who have no children, and they start their day going on a hike, going on a walk, or they're sitting down in the middle of the forest and they're listening to the birds chirping. No, that is not my version of slow living. For me, slow living is waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning before the rest of my kids wake up. And I like to curl up in bed and I sip on my calm drink. And I like to listen to Prophet Lovi. I like to have a quick little Bible study, and I just talk to God and I just meditate on his word. So that is how I start my day. So don't feel discouraged just because you see all of these videos
where they're slowly pouring a glass of tea, and they're standing outside staring at the mountains, and they're just mesmerized by nature.
And your day doesn't look like that. It doesn't have to. Like I said, I'm a mom of 5. And what brings me peace, what grounds me and what centers me is to do whatever it is that is supportive of me fulfilling my purpose, which does not require me to go outside and walk barefoot in the grass. Okay? So those things are great. Those things are great add-ons that maybe I can incorporate in some of my daily activities. But that is not what slow living looks like for me. So write down what that looks like for you. What are your goals? I know for me, I like to ground and center myself. I like to make sure that I have the peace that I need in order to handle the chaos that may come throughout my day. Remember, slow living does not eliminate all chaos from your life. It just makes it easier for you to be able to handle it. Okay. I do not have a quiet home, for instance. I have 5 kids, ranging from 12 all the way to 8 months. It is not always quiet, okay? But I learned how to be intentional with how I spend my time. You know, going to the park is not sitting down with my legs crossed like this. Going to the park means I'm pushing my kids on the swing, or sometimes I'm racing them. Sometimes I'm playing football with my son. I'm intentional. I'm making time with my kids. And the truth is, being in Spain opened my eyes to true living, slow living, being grounded, understanding priorities, understanding what matters most. And that starts with family for me. You know, I watched people at the beach and I was so inspired by the disconnection from electronics and social media that they had. They really detached themselves from the noise of the internet, and they connected with each other. I also noticed that they were more sure of themselves than we were when we first got to Spain. So now I'm not the mom that sits on the side on her cell phone just texting while my kids are playing in the playground. I'm the mom that's going down the slides with them. I'm the mom that's jumping rope with them. I'm the mom playing red light, green light, 1, 2, 3. Because now I've realized what matters most. And that is family. So when I make my vision, I think of those things. I meditate on those things. And that's what I want you to do. What does slow living look like for you? If you are a mom of multiples or a single mom, it doesn't matter. I don't want slow living to look like an unachievable goal. It is reachable for anybody. So don't be discouraged by those nice videos where everyone looks like they got it all together. And don't feel like you have to pressure yourself to look like everyone else. Your version of slow living is enough. So after you create your vision, plan your day. How does that look for you? After I do my prayer, after I do my meditation, after I watch Prophet Lovi, who I absolutely love, and I feel like my cup is filled. Now I'm able to fill my children's cups. So when they wake up, first thing we do, how was your sleep? Did you have any dreams? Did God speak to you last night? What did he share with you? What do you think that means? Let's dive deeper into that. You know, that's my version. We don't just get up and just rush and start, panicking and frantically. No, my version of slow living is being able to have time to have a conversation with my kids in the morning.
And then the chaos begins. Okay.
So I'm not going to have you guys thinking that my house is quiet and it's always clean. No, it is not. But slow living for me is being able to take time to remain grounded and centered and being intentional on what matters most. So I created a schedule, right? So I made a block schedule and I can make a video on that. Shout out to Jordan Page who introduced me to block scheduling. So that's what I did. I created a block schedule and I decided I'm going to set an alarm so that way I'm not sidetracked because I do have goals. Slow living doesn't mean that you don't have goals that you want to accomplish. It just means that you're not going to center your life around it and you're not going to kill yourself trying to accomplish them either. Like I said, I accomplished a lot more, a lot faster, and I got a lot further while embarking on the journey of slow living after moving to Spain. So here's another thing. Declutter. Please declutter. I'm not saying you have to be a minimalist, okay? Although that is a great goal, I will not knock your journey. And if you're ambitious enough to say, you know what, I'm throwing 90% of everything in my home in the trash, go for it. You got my support. But you don't have to go to the extreme. Remember, slow living is all about pacing yourself. Slow living is all about harnessing that level of peace, understanding that you deserve the peace and the patience with yourself to allow yourself to take your time on this journey. We're not in a rush. We're not in a hurry. Okay? Like I said, I'm from New York City. I was used to the rat race. Okay. If things weren't going fast, if things weren't frantically moving, if it wasn't chaotic, I thought something was wrong. Okay. I used to question peace. I didn't trust peace at one point in my life. I even created my own chaos in order to create comfort for myself because that's what I was used to. So decluttering can start with your home, eliminating the noise. And noise does not have to be only something that you hear with your ears. Noise can be congestion that you receive just from what you see with your eyes. Okay. You ever sit in silence and it's clutter all around you and it just feels loud? Similar to when you smell perfume that's so strong, it just feels like it's loud. Declutter anything in your home that no longer serves you. If it doesn't make you feel happy or whole, if it doesn't give you peace, get rid of it. I even threw away some letters that I had in my yearbook in junior high school that gave me anxiety, that didn't bring back positive memories. I threw it right in the trash. Declutter. I threw away articles of clothing that I had in my closet that brought back bad memories. Right in the trash. Clothing that doesn't make me feel confident. Things in my house, if I feel like it's too much, in the trash. And it makes cleaning easier. If you ever heard of the same saying, cleanliness is closer to godliness, you'll understand that there's a reason for it. You can hear more. I remember my first night outside of New York City when I moved out in Connecticut with my husband. I remember sitting on the balcony in complete silence. And for the first time, I was able to hear my own thoughts. Can you imagine not being able to hear yourself? Have a conversation with yourself. And I'm not talking about crazy, I'm talking to myself and pacing back and forth. I'm talking about really sitting down and getting reconnected with who you are. Sometimes we have to get to know who we are before we get to know anyone else. It's funny because while we were in Spain, I got to know my husband, it felt like for the first time in so long. We became more reconnected, even with our children. Just from slowing down, our marriage got so much stronger. Our relationship with our kids got so much better. We developed so much wisdom in silence. More than any other lecture we sat through for hours in a day. Slow living is powerful, it's transformational, it's transformative, and it's something that I recommend to everyone, just slowing down. So here's a bigger challenge. Decluttering is not necessarily just your home. Sometimes your cluttering is your social circle, your friends, and here's the hardest part, even your family. Sometimes you have to declutter the negativity and the toxicity that's around you. I had to do that. I had to go and hit that delete button and the block button to get rid of and declutter the negativity and the negative noise that was around me. How can I live a supportive life to fulfill my purpose if I have all of this clutter that includes negative and toxic people that were not meant to take this journey with me? And they'll slow you down, but not in a positive way. And lastly, here is something that I struggled with. And maybe you're not this person, but I was never really an outdoorsy person. I wasn't the person to go hiking. I wasn't the person to take walks. I wasn't the person to go to the beach. But let me tell you, nature is healing. Just taking a walk outside can be medicine to the soul. I used to suffer with anxiety, extreme anxiety and panic disorder. I used to have panic attacks almost every day. You can ask anybody I know, anybody, how bad it was, to the point where the ambulance would be in front of my house. It was that bad. I thought I was having a heart attack, okay? And when I started to realize, after years of research, I realized that nature was the medicine that I needed all along. And I'm not saying this to people who may be taking medication. I did take medication in the past. I took Lexapro because I needed it. I needed that help to teach my brain how to release the proper amounts of serotonin to be able to regulate, right? Because trauma has happened in my life, and over the years, my brain has really been impacted by it. So it was a lot of prayer, a lot of meditation, a lot of therapy. But let me tell you, when we got to Spain, I remember sitting there with my doctor and I said, do you think I need to continue to use Lexapro? I'm pregnant. At the time I was pregnant. And my doctor leaned over and said, I don't think you're going to ever need this again. And I believed him. So I got off of Lexapro during my pregnancy. Never went back on it again. Never needed it again. Never had another single panic attack in my life since then. It's been 5 years, going on 6. And let me tell you, I don't credit that to medication. And I won't say therapy didn't help. I won't say that medication didn't help, right? All of these things helped, but the cure was rooted in slowing down. The chaos alone that we bring to ourselves, chasing goals, right? Going crazy, trying to keep up with whatever we see on social media, the latest trends, whatever's happening. Even this one can cause great anxiety. Remember, anxiety is all about worrying about the future, worrying about what's ahead. And depression is typically dwelling on what was behind. And when you put that together, that's a nightmare that no one wants to stay in. But slow living has healed me. And the habits we adopted since leaving Spain, we have taken with us everywhere we went, right here in America. It hasn't changed. We still take moments to pray together as a family. That hasn't changed. We still take moments to do yoga together as a family. That has not changed. We still play together at the playground. We still talk every morning. Anxiety no longer consumes me. And I will credit that to my relationship with God, of course. But the only reason my relationship with God was able to strengthen over time was because I embarked on this newfound journey of slow living since moving in Spain. I was forced to center myself, to ground myself, to figure out what matters most, to block out the noise, to take time, to notice what's the most important thing, to be more intentional. So please challenge yourself to slow down, to get off that hamster wheel because you ain't going nowhere. Let's stop pretending we're going somewhere. You're not. Remember, the hamster wheel, you're rushing to nowhere, literally. So slowing down, like I said, will look different for you. Maybe do not be, discouraged because you see all these perfect, aesthetically pleasing videos on there. Please don't be discouraged. Like I said, I'm a mom of 5.
It ain't looking like that for me.
My house is noisy many days, okay? My house can have toys in various places. It can be chaotic some days. But we've learned how to slow it down and how to immerse ourselves in the joy of being together. Because one day I'm going to miss this. If I'm not present, I'm going to miss this. I hear my mom talk about empty nester syndrome all the time. And I'm just taking it day by day and I'm just enjoying the moment. So slow living is not saying that life won't happen, because it will. Problems will come. Chaotic days may even happen, right? It's called living. But it's all about remaining grounded and centering yourself and not allowing life to consume you. Slow living is all about being intentional, living a purposeful life, centering yourself, and being more present. So you can do this. You got this. If you have any questions concerning how I declutter, how I minimalize the clutter in my house, and in my social life, my social circle, and how I eliminated toxic family and toxic friends. Let me know in the comment section. How I block schedule, how I schedule out my day to be more intentional, how I discovered my purpose. The sky's the limit. There's so much we can discuss. Okay? So I hope you enjoyed this video. Okay, slow it down. Get off that hamster wheel. I see you over there chasing those goals. You got this. You actually can accomplish your goals faster by hopping off that hamster wheel. So take care and God bless. Like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Don't forget.